Our first important person is Baron de Montesquieu. He's a French aristocrat and lawyer who is interested in discovering the basic ideas or principles of good government. His significance is that he came up with the idea that the powers of government should be separated into separate branches. Make sure that you write the significance for this person in the far right-hand side of your vocabulary chart. Our next important person is Sir Isaac Newton. He's a physicist and a mathematician, and is credited as one of the great minds of the 17th century scientific revolution and the development of modern physics. His significance is being a brilliant scientific mind and the father of modern physics. Make sure you write the significance in the right-hand side of your vocabulary chart. Our next important person is Jean-Jacques Rousseau. He's the author of The Social Contract, which stated that only the people of a country have true power. He also criticized the idea of absolutism. His significance is that he believed that government should express the will of the people, and that people enter into a social contract with their government, giving it the right to create and enforce laws. Make sure you write this significance in the far right-hand side of your vocabulary chart. Our next important person is John Locke. He's an English philosopher and political theorist who laid much of the groundwork for the Enlightenment and made essential contributions to the development of liberalism. His significance is that he believed that the government's power is limited and that people have natural rights, such as the right to life, liberty, and property. Make sure that you're writing this significance in the far right-hand side of your vocabulary chart. Our next important person is Oliver Cromwell. He was the first Lord and Protector of the Commonwealth of England, Scotland, and Ireland. His significance is that he was Britain's ruler after the English Civil War. Make sure you include this in the far right-hand side of your vocabulary chart. Our next important person is Thomas Hobbes. He was a writer who believed that all power should be given to the king and that people were too selfish to govern themselves. He was also the author of the book Leviathan. His significance is that he was a philosopher who believed a strong government was necessary to protect the people from themselves. Make sure that you write this in the far right-hand side of your vocabulary chart. Our last important person is Voltaire, a prolific writer, philosopher, and poet, and a dominant figure of the 18th century French Enlightenment. His significance is that he was a philosopher who stressed the importance of the freedom of speech. Make sure that you include this in the far right-hand side of your vocabulary chart.